generation understands of songs.
Okay, I'm recording. Do it again, Elliot.
It's too late now.
Come on, help me out.
It's
What?
the 80s.
I didn't sing before.
It is Cindy Lauper, by the
Cyndi
way.
Lauper, there you go. And then the new version was Justin Timberlake.
Ah.
Yeah, in that movie, with the trolls.
Ah, yes, you're right. You're right. Nice.
Yeah.
Neil, are you
wow.
catching up with us? It seems that you're a little bit lost.
No, I'm just enjoying the show.
Yeah.
I'm guessing iPhone is Sabile again. I'm just guessing.
Just guessing.
And then who else do we have? Ayanga's in, but having problems with sound, but can hear us. Hello, iPhone.
So sorry, Quentin and Neil. When we give us the go, someone else can share what is the challenges with the app or the beginning. And I know you say you need to play, and I'm frustrated to play, but the one thing that I want to point out, I don't know if other people notice, and I try to explain, we showed myself, and I will try to explain that. So if I can get clarity on that, maybe it's the beginning to move more smoothly through the app. Is that going to be okay?
Yeah.
Are you asking if you'd like to ask questions now or at the end? Is that what you're asking?
No, not the end. When we're allowed, can I, when you say question
You're always
about...
allowed to ask questions.
You're allowed. No
Okay.
one's allowed to ask questions. Okay. Yeah, I think Neil, maybe we must keep it till the end, so that if somebody else needs to go or something, then it's not, and they don't have any issues, then they can leave.
Okay, iPhone is confirmed. It's Sabile.
Somebody trying to fix that.
There's no Shepherd and no Ryan and no Haroon yet. But I think if not everyone's on by 10 past, we just start. There's always the recording if they miss the beginning.
Sure.
We need to stick to our class times.
Yes, we actually do need to start earlier and kick off. But we'll be graceful in the beginning.
Just for one lesson.
Just for today.
Okay, so it's not a big issue, Sevilla. If we know it's you, then it's you. If you can't change your name. If you can hear it, that's great. It would be great if we could hear you, especially if you have a question. Johan, how did you fix your camera?
Oh, I pressed on it and I held it a little bit and I scratched like that. Yeah, sometimes
like a good IT technician.
Yeah. Sometimes you hit it hard and it works.
Yeah.
That's how you fix technology, or you just restart it. Did you turn it off and back on?
Yeah.
That's how you do it with children as well. Oh no.
His face. Hi, Sabile.
Hey, Sabile.
Hi, Sabile.
Big smiling face.
Hi. Nice to see you guys. I just got home.
Nice. I just woke up.
Oh. Woke up? Belgium is the same.
Where are you?
No, it's the same time. I had a nice nap. That's all.
Afternoon nap.
Afternoon nap. Yeah.
Very good.
It's been raining here for like 6 days straight.
Oh wow. We're on day 2 of rain in Cape Town.
Yeah, day 6 and it's summer.
It's been sunny for a month.
Oh, yeah. There goes the camera again.
Hello.
Yeah. Damn.
It makes such a big difference.
I know.
What did you do?
So,
I didn't do anything.
oh boy.
Ah.
So who else is affected by the gyms closing down today? Are you, did you have clients at the gym? You're on mute.
Yoga classes?
Sorry, not today, but tomorrow on Wednesday and on Saturday. But there was, unfortunately, there is a huge decline in the classes at Virgin Active for noticeable, at least for the past month.
Yeah.
So they opened, I think, to the public last year, September, if I'm not mistaken. Slowly pick up after 1.5 months. People still haven't been sure. Although I have to say that at least in where I'm teaching, we do have strict rules. So they mark the floor 2 meters apart from each one. We're not allowed more than the amount of people. They sanitize the members sanitize the floor before, after as well, wearing masks. Unless I'm more than 2 meters, I'm taking the mask underneath, because for me, to breathe, speak, and to do the yoga, and some of the yoga poses quite cardio kind of. You're
Yeah.
moving, you never exhale. That's a bit challenging. But when if I'm going to people, I always putting the mask, and I have also hand sanitizer. So I sanitize before I touch someone and adjust. And I ask permission. If they're not comfortable, I will never go and touch them. And I say, please let me know. And then after I sanitize. So and the member very cooperative, I have to say, but that kind of, whoever run the government, they get the salaries, but so many people closing down business, and it's affecting.
Are your classes for tomorrow? Did clients cancel?
Not the client, the gym
so you
lockdown level 4. They're from this morning, 10 o'clock. Virgin Active is closed down until 11 of July.
Did you try to speak to those clients to see if you can do something online?
Oh, yes. Before that, they're not interested.
Oh, okay.
Because they want to get. First of all, Virgin Active does provide, I think, 4,000 kind of. I'm not so sure how. Quite a lot of links to exercise, and by the way, I did teach when the lockdown started. I immediately had the Zoom and everything, camera and everything. I just got it a few days before the lockdown. I teach free, I would say, for 1.5 months. The 2, I felt that it's not right for me. Then I start to charge. Everyone charge very low amount, and I did it. And then people start to go back to work, and they stop to join. Those that not my regular, those that from Virgin Active, if I can say.
Yeah.
They went back to work, and it just started to deplete it. So I would say that the COVID and closing down industry impact negatively people financially. It doesn't mean everyone, but we're rolling to the second year now. It starts to get quite closely to many people than before. So those that are going to the gym, a large part that I know, that not necessarily in every area, feel that at least for yoga, they can do it free of charge.
Sure. Okay.
And the younger works as a fitness instructor at Planet Fitness. So obviously Planet Fitness is closed at the moment.
That's it. Okay.
I think it's government. It's come from government, because Move is also closed down closed.
Yeah.
Within the next couple of weeks.
Okay. Yeah. So
sorry.
I was just going to say it's probably important that we get this stuff off the road, and we can help everyone get some sort of presence online, because there's people who's going to look for training online, and now's the time for us to, for as personal trainers, to get those clients and bring them into our world. So we need to get going with this course and get things off the road.
Let's go, Quentin. Go.
Let's go.
Yeah,
So,
just Quentin, that's very important. My question in that kind of journey, and I think you probably ask yourself, it's all good and great, but how do you, waste less, how you put less effort in terms of reaching the client that willing to engage with you, okay, capable financially, and trust that you will get them through that. So
Yeah.
for me, the financial component at this time in life, when we more into a year into the COVID, it's quite impactful. So how one, doing little tricks, to get people to that.
Yes, absolutely. And that's those are great questions. I think there's definitely some of the stuff that I'm going to be handling today that will start answering those questions. But the biggest sort of thing that I could mention there is that we need to get out of this situation where it's a transaction. It's something, like people buy it from you or whatever. And I want to talk to you today about how to actually bring people into your community and get to know them, and for them to get to know you, like you, and get value from you in such a way that to them it's no longer about price. It's about the connection with you, and it's about what your personality gives to them, and your type of training gives to them. So because we're going to be talking today about finding your ideal client, somebody that you want to work with and that wants to work with you. And then also just making sure we got the right niche. So we're going to do a little bit of that stuff so that we can, and then Neil will jump into more about the app and get the app sorted and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, welcome Ryan and Shepard. Nice to see you guys. Without any further ado, I'm going to jump in because we're already 15 minutes into the meeting. I'm going to share my screen. And can everybody see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yes.
So as I said, as you guys all know, this training is, our aim is to make it as practical as possible. So we are always going to be focused on Neil and watch Neil do this, and put pressure on Neil to see if he could actually pull this off in front of you guys while you are watching. So, and for all intents and purposes, Neil's starting from scratch today. So I want everybody to say, well done, Neil. Congratulations for starting your online business. Okay, cool.
Thank you, guys.
So the goal for today's lesson, Neil, and everybody else, okay, is for Neil to design his online business. So he needs to figure out who's his ideal customer and what is the niche of the people that he's going to serve. Sorry, I'm just moving all my cameras around and people's faces and all that sort of stuff. So that's what we're going to do. And why this is important, this decision that you make up front is actually informs everything that you do in future, in terms of how you're going to do your messaging, how you're going to do marketing, how you're going to find customers, but also how you're going to make sure that you serve those people and bring them to the outcomes that they want. So we're going to talk in this training a lot about the desired outcome. So the desired outcome for this lesson is hopefully for Neil to have a much clearer idea of his customer, and maybe even give us a little hint of who it is that he's going to be serving, and how he's going to be serving them. I want to introduce you, and let you asked such a great question for me to get into something like this, into this concept of building a community. Because I want for all of us to be very clear and identify who we're going to be serving and what they really, really want, not what they say they want, and how to best serve them with the right type of training. So, sorry, I didn't animate this, so you got all of this, but if you could start from I want to sort of differentiate between what is a membership and what is just having clients. How do you get people to become part of your community, a member of your community, versus clients? So if you look at the first one, members join you. They become part of your your gym or your training. A client just buys from you. So it's quite a big difference. A member has a relationship with you. For the client is just transactional. Okay. A member wants to work with you. For the client, it doesn't really matter who, as long as any available PT that does the same thing as you will do. The members usually, if somebody sees themselves as a member of your group, then they stay longer. And clients always will shop around to see if there's anything better out there. Okay. There's with the membership, there's actually three-way communication, because you're building a community. So that new member coming in meets other people, they meet you, and you talk to them. With a client, is generally the training is just one way. You're just telling them what they must do and how they must do, a downward dog or a push-up or a ab exercise, and it's one way. So the other thing about a membership is you're able to develop an offer of multiple things that you can provide for them, as opposed to your training, which is just a single product. It's just one thing that you do. And then in a membership, a client might say something like, I really need to do this and I want to do this, as opposed to a client that says, oh, let me see, I'll give it a try. With a membership, the value is the biggest differentiator, and with a client, the price is the biggest differentiator. On the community side, you've got support, and on the other side, it is just a bunch of individuals training all on their own. So that's what we're going to be doing differently to, I think, other online courses, which is just showing you how to train people on Zoom and on apps. We're also going to tell you how to bring people into your world and then convert them into customers. So for those of you who've heard of the funnel concept, where you bring somebody into the top of the funnel and then you convert them into friends and followers, and then you convert them into maybe somebody into a free Facebook group, and then you bring them in and they become customers of yours. So it's a lot more social kind of way to bring people in, and it is organic. It's without free ad, it's without paid for ads, but that's kind of the difference we're going to make. So let's kick off and tell you all about your ideal member or customer or client.
So Quentin, before you go on, can you just go back to the previous slide quickly?
Sure.
I'm very excited to learn this from Quentin, because before I've always been operating as in the client sector. I've gone for kind of like the direct sale, whereas what Quentin's talking about is more of like your business becoming like an online gym. So if you have like an online gym, then people buy into kind of your membership, and if other people are involved, then they can create a whole community as well, and they can actually help with motivation, and then it becomes a whole team thing. Whereas I think a lot of us are scared of charging certain prices. If that person doesn't know why they stay in there or why they train with you, like Quentin said, that person's just going to shop around and find someone else. Oh, this guy also does online training, he's cheaper than Neil, I'm just going to go there. So I'm very excited to learn how to actually do this and create this, because I've always been operating on the client side, and I'm very excited to start this from scratch and actually build like a membership or a community.
Okay.
And I want Quinto, can you just write a question relevant to this slide, please, so we can answer at the end. I understand your community membership. I'm not so sure how to go about that, but how this community member, yes, how this community membership is different from Virgin Active or Planet Fitness membership.
Okay. Very good question. Yeah, we'll tell you. Hopefully we sort of cover that during the slides as well. So the first thing that we want to know is we want to know who is that person, the ideal client that you've got, and what does he or she look like, and then the more we understand about her, the better we can serve her. So for those of you, I'm going to be using a word called an avatar. So some of you might have heard of that. Basically, sometimes when you go on social media, you see those little pictures of people, they call those avatars. Those are representations of who the person is. So I want you all to get a clear idea in your mind, what does the avatar look like of the person that you want to work with, okay? And we're going to talk about what are their goals, their wants, their needs, and also some of the info sources they use. And on the internal side is what is her why, what is her challenges, what are the pain points that she has, and even things like what are the false beliefs that she have about training and about fitness. So we're gonna meet Jessica, and we're gonna go into Jessica a little bit more, and I'm going to show you how we understand that stuff about the external and the internal side of it. So Neil, maybe at this point I can ask you, have you got sort of a picture in your mind at this stage about who your Jessica is?
Not at this stage. I think I'm going to need some more prompting questions. I don't have like a niche per se, as like I don't just train women, or I don't just train men or kids. Okay. So it's not as like clear to me. As you unpack the training, then okay, I think I'll have a better idea.
All right. Well, let's do a little bit of research and see how we can establish that for you. So the one thing that a nice little way of thinking about it as well is that what is the T-shirt that that your ideal customer wear? You know, it's like people like to show off their beliefs and their who they are, and you know, and walk around with a T-shirt that says, "I am a proud mom of 5 kids," or whatever they do. So what do your members call themselves, and what do they aspire to become? So what is their outcome of where they want to go in their lives? And all of this, obviously we talk specifically around fitness and training, but understanding the bigger picture is also very good. So things on the T-shirt like, "I am a mom," or "I love my pets and dogs and cats. I hate condescending people. I hate, you know, I shouldn't get into that. I'm going to get into trouble if I say what I hate." And then what this is also helping to do is it helps members to self-identify. So if you start saying this group is for people who are pregnant moms, then that's sort of how the light that she sees herself, and she'll understand herself in relation to your training and stuff like that. So then what it will do over time in terms of bringing people into this community of yours and eventually becoming your clients, it connects the perfect member to you and to the others in your community. And funnily enough, you'll think, but I don't want to repel people. But yes, you do. You don't want the people who are not the right kind of people in your world, because they're probably just going to waste your time, and it's not going to be a good experience for you or for them. And then when we get to the social media side of things, Facebook has got a funny thing called an algorithm. And the algorithm is watching all of us and our behaviors, and Facebook understands a lot about people. And the more you kind of behave in a certain way, the more Facebook will learn about who are your ideal clients, and Facebook will try to connect you with those people from that side as well. Okay, so that's the T-shirt. Okay, so let's say, Jessica, I found her this T-shirt. It says, "I'm a gym mom," which is just like a normal mom, but stronger and sexier. So tells you a couple of things about her. She is a mom, and she doesn't see herself as weird or out there. She's just like a normal mom, but she has aspirations. She wants to be stronger, and she wants to look sexier. Okay, so that's the ideal client. So what is this going to do for you? I want you guys to think of people that you've trained in the past, okay? People that you've worked with, and that it was just a great fit. You liked them, they liked you, they didn't complain about paying, they did everything, they showed up every time. Think of that person, and who is that person? What is his or her name? And imagine if you had 10 clients that's just like that person. I mean, how would that change for you to get up in the morning and go and train that person? It's just a much more nicer experience. Plus, you could probably charge that person your true value, the true rate that you are worth. Okay, so that's why we want to understand who that person is. Okay, so let's go back to Jessica. So we put the T-shirt on Jessica, and we're going to talk about all of these things. Where are we going to find out that information? Do you guys remember these bangles that came out at some point, and it said, "What would Jesus do?" Do you guys remember that? You guys see that? Yeah.
Yes. I remember.
Okay, so we're going to be doing the same. We're going to basically be saying, we're going to understand so much about Jessica. The next time we post something on Instagram, on Facebook, we're going to think in our minds, what would Jessica do? How would Jessica react to me posting that? So if you're going to post something silly and insensitive and whatever, is Jessica going to like that, or is it going to push her away? So what would Jessica do? But also when you do messaging and your Facebook profile or social media profiles, when you are starting to communicate with her about joining your membership, when you have stuff in your membership, but also when you design your training, and you say, okay, I want to introduce this weird, bizarre concept that I want to do in training, and where a client has to stand on a head for 10 minutes. What would Jessica say about that if I ask her to do that? Would she say, oh, no, that's silly, she doesn't want to do it? Or would she be game? Would she be keen to do it? So it's this little picture here that I found it might not just be random. It could be something, it tells me about Jessica. She likes the outdoors. She doesn't mind getting a bit of sweat on her face. She likes the sun. She's sporty. But she wants to look good as well. She's got makeup on. Her hair is not too bad. And all of those sort of things is telling you a story about Jessica. So it's maybe fun if you can go on the internet and look for pictures. Be careful with this, what you search for on the internet. But for somebody that's your avatar, and find a picture and maybe put a picture of that person on your desk or somewhere that you always look at her and say, Jessica, what do you think about this new idea of mine? Cool. So we are going to look at what is Jessica, search on Google to find out that external stuff. And then we're going to also try and find out about her internal stuff by asking her. So, Neil, is this getting you closer to something that you maybe want to do?
Yeah, 100%, because when I've always had client interactions, I've always just focused on the internal stuff. So I've been very good at asking clients for feedback and doing consultations with them. And I've almost just hyperly focused on that side. But then when I'm messaging someone, say, that has been interested in training, I don't know if I don't know where I got that person from. I'm not knowing what kind of language or what kind of person that I'm actually speaking to. So it's almost like shooting in the dark. But if you've actually done that stuff first and you've attracted the right kind of person, then I suppose it becomes a lot easier to convert that person to the point where they're actually going to have a consultation with you.
Absolutely.
Is that right?
Yeah. So anyone else want to ask questions around your avatar or your ideal client? Okay, everybody happy? So I've got this sort of template that I can send to all of you guys, but it's basically a blank template. So there's the space for the picture. So some of those sort of blocks that you can start filling in. I'll send you the actual PDF where you can actually type that in. You'll be able to type in your avatar's name. If you guys want to do this, you could fill in as much information as you can. I mean, if you don't know stuff like occupation, job title, yeah, you probably should have an idea of what they are, but just start filling in those things of what your understanding of who this person is, what their goals and values are, their challenges and their pain points. Sources of information is always a good thing. So what social media does she prefer? Because that's going to inform where you are the most active. And then I've kind of grayed this out. I borrowed this from a company called Digital Marketer, by the way, a good resource for digital marketing. But they talk here about objections, fears, and I put in the fears and false beliefs over that, because this is about a sale, selling somebody a physical product, but ours is slightly different. So could this template, do you guys think this would be useful in maybe thinking about your client? Cool. I hope so, because I'm going to ask you to do it. Fill one in for me for Friday. All right. So
Awesome.
Neil, do you want to? Okay, well let's go into a little bit of research. So for those of you who are scared of numbers and graphs and charts, just bear with me a little bit. I want to show this to you. By the way, I'm looking over here because you're on the screen. So on Google search, look at this interesting graph. For the search term workout at home, since 2008, it was pretty flat. 2020, it spiked ridiculously up. People were looking online for how to do workouts at home. So it doesn't take a rocket science to say what happened in 2020 for people to start searching for that. So that's dropped down a little bit when people the lockdowns opened up and things like that, but it never came back down to the level it used to be. So this tells us that a lot of people are still doing this search today to say, workouts at home, tell me about that. Okay, very interesting. But now how you could use this is the following way. There's a little tool that I'm going to ask you guys to maybe try and get. It's this little K here. It's called Keywords Everywhere, and it's a little gadget that you install into your Chrome browser, and it's going to give you information like this. Okay, so it'll tell us when somebody searches for workout at home, then what they also search for, or keywords related to that, other things that people search around that, is workout at home equipment. So people are looking for equipment. The second one, they're looking for a plan, they're looking for an app, they're looking for a program, and then they start getting into specifically for abs, or for a full body, or cardio, or HIIT workouts, or upper body. So you can see how people are prioritizing, or how many people are searching for certain things. This is ranked in terms of search volume, how much people are searching for these search terms. So you can go through that, and you can already start seeing what are people Googling and what's going on in their minds now that they're faced with this pandemic or whatever. And, so it's all sorts of things. It's like the how to, but it's also what to do, and which is the areas of most concern. The abs is always, funnily enough, coming up as a top one, and all of those sort of things. So that's interesting. There's a boxing workout at home, nice one, bar, all of those sort of things up there. So those are key, already giving you some understanding. So when you type in, say, boxing fitness, like for Shepherd, and I think Ryan also talked about boxing fitness. When you type that in, you're going to get a similar list of things related to what people are searching for. Cool. And here's another sort of breakdown of that. So I've taken that workout for beginners, workout workout at home, and I did it for workout at home for women. Okay, and then look here, the type of things that come up, and it says workout for beginners. So women see themselves, or a lot of women see themselves as beginners. If you want to serve the beginners, that's good. That's your niche that you're going to be going for. If you want to give people a full body workout, you give them body toning, more full body, and with no equipment. Okay, so some want equipment, some don't. You can decide which part do you want to serve. They obviously want to lose weight. They want a plan. They want to lose belly fat. So this one says they wanted how to lose weight in the gym, which is kind of a weird one. And then they want a video. They want somebody to show them. They want it to be simple exercises. And yet it says a PDF. So they want some sort of something they can hold, something they can look at when they're doing exercise. So there's a lot of stuff here that it's already showing you. So what I want to do now is actually, Neil, give you the opportunity. Let me bring in Mr. Google into my world. So if there's a sort of a search that we can start for you, Neil, what would that be?
I would say workouts at home with equipment. I'm more actually a fan of working with clients that do have some sort of simple parts of equipment. So I think in a later stage in my business, seeing as I'm just starting from scratch now, I would like to be able to offer with my programs a little kit of equipment that people could choose to buy.
Okay. All right. Great. So the reason why we're doing this is not necessarily to see what Google gives us, but here's that little gadget that I was telling you guys about keywords everywhere. It's literally giving me on the side of my search all of the related keywords to work out at home. So I'm going to give you guys the link later where you can go to get this Chrome extension. Does anybody not know what a Chrome extension is? Or should I say, does anyone know what a Chrome extension is?
Which one are you asking?
Do you know what a Chrome extension is? Never heard of it. Okay, let me explain to you. You'll see at the top here of my Chrome browser, there's all these little buttons. These are all little tools that I use in my everyday life, very essential stuff. This one, for instance, is called Video Speed Controller. It speeds up my videos when I'm watching stuff to learn, so I can learn quicker. This one gives me an emoji keyboard. This one gives me an color picker or whatever. So just to show, I've got all sorts of things. Here's the one, it's called Keywords Everywhere. So what it is, it actually literally, all of these tools just look at what's happening in my browser, and it does fulfills a little function for me. So never mind all the other gadgets that are just Keywords Everywhere is the one that I want you to go and get. So you can go and search for keywords everywhere. And then you'll see it come up. You can click on the link there, and then it will take you to the website. And yeah, it will say to you, install this for Chrome. You click on that, and it'll take you across to the Chrome web store where basically all of these tools are sitting, and mine says remove from Chrome. Yours will say install into Chrome. You hit it, it takes 10 seconds and it's going to. So just a qualifier, this does not work on phones. Sorry about that. You'll need to find a laptop where you can do this. So I'll look around and see if there's some sort of gadgets that one can do on a phone, but it's a little bit difficult because you need sort of space to do this. But okay, so back to you, Neil. So common equipment used at home for exercise, URL link. Home workout, full body workout machine. So they're thinking machine. Common equipment used at home in an exercise. Essentials, best home exercise equipment.
And then individual pieces,
individual pieces that appear. So kettlebell is popular. Dumbbells, obviously, everybody knows that, and that's what people are looking for. Then the next thing that keyword everywhere. So what other things people are looking? Full body workout machine, gym equipment. So the people are thinking to set up a whole gym. Do they? That's maybe something that will allow you to go in and say, where you don't need to spend all that money on gym equipment, because that's obviously something that they are thinking they need to do to work out at home, is to build a whole gym around it. So that's maybe an objection or a fear that people have, is that they will have to go and spend a lot of money on gym equipment before they can train and actually get results. So then then this thing called long tail keywords. It's exactly what it says. It's the keyword you're talking about with a tail on it of other stuff. So abs workout at home with, so this one has got the tail can be in front or it can be at the back. This one is, again, abs is right at the top there. Chest, big, and then for beginners, workout at home with equipment, biceps, back. P90X is a specific sort of DVD series that does shows you how to exercise. And then at home workouts, best workouts. So yeah, so we're getting it's not very sort of, nothing jumps out massively unless you're seeing something, Neil.
Well, it's a good thing for me to know that one of the associated words people think of when they think of home equipment is kettlebells. I think that's helpful for later, but maybe not right now. So what would you think is the next step for me that can help me right now, so that I can start identifying my audience?
Yeah.
Well, going.
Yeah, maybe is to go one level back up to say work out at home, and it's maybe just rather think in terms of the result that people want. So for say fitness is work out at home fitness, or that in relating to what's the what's going to help you with that. So maybe that gives you a little bit of a different answer. Simple exercises to do, best home workout program, plan without equipment, workout at home, a blender. So they're thinking food as well. So yes, something when I was talking earlier about don't see your training as a single product, but there's other things that you can add to the offer that you're offering, is by giving people advice on what to put in a blender, in terms of the food that they eat with the training. Aerobics, quick cardio workout. I can't believe people said such a long thing. Yeah, so there's a couple of ideas there as well. So
these are great for ideas, Quentin, but how does this help me build my avatar?
All right, great. So this is there's a couple of things now that we can do with this when we go back to these keywords and stuff. This is informing both who is your avatar as well as the niche that you want to serve. Okay, but just before I get to that, I'm quickly going to talk about the internal challenges. There is no Google for internal challenges. But here's where you could literally just go and ask her. Like you said, Neil, you go and actually ask that person what are her fears, or what is the things that worries her most about exercising. So friends, followers, and asking in your social media groups. So here's some questions, for instance, describe your challenge or your goals and your desires. And then this question about why is that important to you? If somebody says they want to lose weight, well, why is that important to you? Well, I want to look better. Well, why is that important to you? Well, I would like to get married one day. Well, why is that important to you? Well, I don't want to be alone. Well, why is that important to you? You can see how you could go endless with that question, but it's good to understand that the reason somebody wants to exercise is because they don't want to be alone. You never thought of that as a motivation for what they want to do. So if you can sort of think, Neil, about what do you like to help people most with in terms of a possible outcome for them? What would be a good outcome where you can say, I'm glad I helped this person achieve X?
Well, I'm all about transformation. So I'm my kind of ideal customer in my head, without have done all the steps that you're recommending, is someone that's willing to commit to a process and not just looking for, okay, I just want the exercise plan, or I just want an eating plan type of thing. I like to bring those two together and don't do one without the other one, so that they get in a result either in physical looks or in feel.
Okay.
So I'm looking for someone that's actually looking for a transformation, and transformations always people think of physically looking different, but it can also be to your energy levels, to the way that you feel, to your confidence. So that's what comes to me when you after giving me that.
Okay, great. So when you start thinking about your community, I think that those are sort of the messages that you can start writing out maybe just put down the keywords and start writing messages around that, as in the way you would talk to Jessica or whoever your avatar is about these things, so that you can help her along the journey in terms of making a decision to work with you, to understand where she is and where does she want to be after your training. So all of these things will tell you what's her starting point of what she wants. Okay.
Cool.
And then also the other thing that it does, it could literally be as simple as when you open up a Facebook group, how do you put that? What's the name that you choose for your Facebook group, so that somebody comes across your Facebook group, it tells them, oh, this is a community for people like me. I want to be part of this Facebook community. Okay.
Cool.
So when we talk about niche, a niche is just kind of what they talk about, a sub-market. And there's some big buckets called wealth, relationships, and health that people want. And being a personal trainer, or if people are looking for a personal trainer under health, and then you got a sub-market is they're looking for a personal trainer for pregnant moms, for instance. So it's always good to go a little bit deeper than just saying, I want to train everybody that's into boxing fitness. So because maybe it's somebody that's into boxing fitness that has got no experience with boxing and is not interested in getting into a boxing ring. They just want to do the moves and they just want to be used to. That's the person that you want to go after in terms of your niche.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my example be people that are ready to looking for a transformation in terms of they actually want to commit to a process and not just do maybe a little bit of exercise, or maybe I'll change a little bit of what I'm eating. Okay, cool, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good one actually.
That narrows it down a lot. That already would remove a lot of people out of the people that wouldn't be my ideal customer, like you said. Repelling the people that are just looking for a quick fix, or someone that's really cheap, or they just want this one little thing and they'll just shop around and try to find it somewhere else. That's not who I'm looking for.
Absolutely. And I think often people look at this sort of thing and they think, oh, well, if I narrow down too much, there's not going to be anybody left that's going to want to train with me. Remember, with online training, the world's your oyster. There's millions of people in the world. So we're going to be talking to you about how to actually find people from anywhere in the world, really, to join your community. So think outside of South Africa. Don't think of just good old Gauteng or Cape Town. It can be anywhere in the world that there's a pregnant mom looking for somebody to help her exercise and become fitter and lose a bit of the belly fat after she's had the baby and all of those sort of things. So you're the one that's going to help her with that.
That's a great point, Quentin, because that's what happened for me when I told you about that guy that's charging thousands of euros for these things. And I was in my head, because I'm in South African, it's everything that's around me. And I maybe don't know that these people exist, and you stop to think, you don't think about it. And then when this guy was telling me how many, hundreds of clients he has that are paying thousands of euros, I was like, I didn't even think that exists, but it does. And we all need to kind of broaden our thinking.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I did some digital marketing for gyms or for personal trainers before we all even thought of COVID. And the challenge was always you're trying to find people within a 5-mile radius that's willing to travel to that gym to go and exercise. That is hard, because you tell Facebook, only show this ad to people in a 5-mile radius. Your market gets tiny, and what that does, it pushes up your cost per lead. That's a sort of a paid traffic term, but all it means, it's very hard to find customers that you can convert. It's hard to find leads, never mind to still be able to convert them. Now we opening this up with online and saying, okay, let's think outside of the box, and I'll talk to you over the next couple of weeks in terms of how to find these people and attract them to you into your world. Okay, so choosing the niche that you got is obviously going to depend on the avatar that you have, and what are her problems, goals, and desired, and what is it that she wants you to achieve. So those are the main things that's going to drive your niche, and a lot of that research that is going to give you some ideas of what that is. There's another little tool that I don't want to get into the technical stuff too much, but there's a tool similar to Keywords Everywhere that actually shows you questions that people type online. But I'll maybe just give you guys the link and we could talk about it at a later stage. I would just want you to play with one thing at a time. The last thing I'm going to talk about, and because we sort of way over time as well, is this thing about the road to success that you have in mind, because I want you to understand where these people are in terms of their before and where they want to be in terms of their after. So, and some of them might be in stage 2, stage 3. Somebody might even come to you in stage 4, so that you don't offer them a solution of where they are in stage 1. So I want you guys, and alongside the avatar that you're going to choose, the niche that you're going to choose, maybe write a couple of things about where you believe people are when they start with you, and where they're going to be when they've spent some time with you, a couple of weeks, a month, or however long your program is. Okay, cool. Any more questions from Neil or anyone else?
I suppose when I'm applying the stuff, do you have like a document that you're going to send me that's going to like kind of lay it out so that I can do step 1, step 2, step 3? I would imagine, because these things are helpful, but I'm struggling to see how I'm going to actually like put it together, step 1, step 2, step 3, and then I think that's going to be a guidepost to follow until obviously we do our implementation session at the end of the week.
Absolutely. I can send you guys just the spreadsheet. I don't have a snapshot of it here, but it's basically it's the taking stage 1 and just saying what are the characteristics of people at that place, what sort of milestones have they achieved, and what they need to do to go to stage 2 is an example. So that's quite a lot of work to do eventually, but I mean, I'm not going to ask you guys to do that straight away, but I just want you to do, I'll send you the spreadsheet, but I just want you guys to do stage 1 and stage 5. Don't worry about the in-between, because it's always easy to connect them as long as you have your beginning and your endpoint. But I'll give you guys that document. I'll just see if I've got a screenshot of it. I don't have the screenshot. Yeah, I took it out. Okay, cool. So we'll do that. Yeah. So as I said, well, it's actually not bad timing. It's nearly half an hour. So you got the other half an hour, Neil, to talk about the app.
It's been an hour, but we're going to push.
We started at 5:30 instead of 6. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we started at 1:45 because we were waiting for everyone to join.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll try to get through my section in 15 minutes, unless everyone doesn't mind waiting, staying a little bit afterwards. Should I ask everyone, or should I try to squeeze it in 15 minutes?
Just put in the chat if you guys need to leave, but otherwise.
Bjorn just said that he's having internet problems, so he's going to watch the recording.
All right. You can go.
Can everyone stay another 30 minutes? So from now, or should I finish, go through it in 15 minutes, and then if you need to go back, you can obviously just watch the recording and then kind of slow it down.
I think I can still stay.
Okay, cool. Ryan said he can't stay long. Oh, you remember Ryan's got a client.
Oh, yes. Okay, well, let's go. Let's get as much done as possible.
I can stay. I don't mind staying because, like, I just had to cancel all my clients.
Oh, geez. Also, COVID, Ryan.
The Virgin Active gyms are closed at the moment.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Okay, so you can stay, Ryan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, then let me move into my part 4. So what I'm trying to do is while we're designing the business and while Quentin is getting us set up on finding our clients, I want as soon as that part is done, that we can immediately start to invite people into a process of bringing them onto the app so that they can start trying the training for themselves, and then we can start converting those people into paying clients or into like our new gym membership, as Quentin has been calling it. So once we have got a process, once we've nailed down the process of finding this ideal customer and they're wanting to try us out or wanting to sign up with us, the important information that you need from them is basically the information I've asked from you to add you as a trainer onto the app. So what you're going to need is the client's first name and last name, as well as their email address. Okay, it's important that when you do this invitation process, that you mention that the email that you're going to send, so whichever email address they send you is one that is linked to their phone, because then it's very easy for them to download the app. They receive an email, they click on a link, and it takes them to either the Google Store or the App Store, and then it immediately downloads the application. When they do go through the app setup, that you tell them to turn notifications on. So that means that if you message them or if a workout needs to be done, they're going to get prompted to do so. So people are going to be a lot more likely to engage with the program that you're making for them, and then to watch the introduction video. So it's basically going to help them to get acquainted with where they should be tapping, where they should be touching. So you spend less time maybe helping them with the tech and more time just actually doing the training within them and helping them. So when you add a client to the app, so say you've sent them they've sent you your first and last name and the email address, and now you've added them to the app, just similar to what I've done with you guys. It's important to get these two things as a personal, whether you're online personal trainer or a personal trainer taking clients in person. Your safety forms are super important, and it's really good to get that out of the way in the beginning. So if you're not working with a PARQ form, which you should be, I suggest there is one that comes standard on the app that you can use, but you're basically looking for safety history, okay? And then I would suggest also having some sort of contract that you send them if they are going to be taking up your services, so that people don't, say you're selling them like a 3-month training package, so that they don't stop paying you, for example. It's good to have some sort of contract or agreement so that they know what they're kind of getting themselves into. Okay, so once they've downloaded the app, they need to set up their account, and then you'll be notified when that person is actually download the app, and you can see if the client has actually done what you've asked them to. So remember, like last week, I was like, guys, I can tell that this and this person didn't actually download the app. It's a nice little way to check in and be able to see if a person is actually engaged. And if not, then you need to check in with them. The most important thing, though, when you do add a person, and once they've logged into the training app, to check if they have filled out their consultation form. Okay, so the consultation form is going to be something that you're going to use that is very important information for you to be able to, first of all, build their plan, but also build it in such a way that that person understands or feels that you are designing what you're giving them to their specific needs. And with my experience of being online, that is very important to keep someone engaged with you and keep someone doing the training with you. All right, so you should know by now that without knowing their safety information, you wouldn't be able to build their plan. So let's say if they haven't filled out a PARQ form, you won't know if that person has got has injuries or anything like that. And those are very important things that you need to know if you're going to help someone physically. But you guys should already know that as trainers. Okay, you go to the next slide, Quentin. All right, so how do we do that? When you are in your application, you click on the bottom, see if there's tabs on the bottom of the screen. All right, the first one is the dash. The second one, which is highlighted at the bottom, this is going to be a list of your clients. In the beginning, you're not going to have any clients there, okay? But that blue button that I've put an arrow next to is how you're going to add your first clients. So you're going to click on that blue button. The next screen is going to come up. The background is grayed out, and then you just hit add client. Once you've tapped that button, this is the screen that you're going to get. You're going to input their email address, their first name, and their last name. You don't need to specifically have their phone number. You may already have it, but generally people, when they set up their app, they put their phone number in there. Even if you don't have their phone number, the app still has a function that you can message them on. So, but it is obviously a good idea to have their phone numbers. Okay, Quentin. All right, so in this process of adding someone, there's only really like 3 things that could possibly go or have gone wrong. All right, the client doesn't finish their process, or they don't engage with the sign-up link, and so their sign-up link may expire. In which case, all you need to do is resend them a welcome email, okay? Or a client downloads the app, starts to fill in their details, but then they don't fill out the consultation form, and that's a very important step that you guys need in your process. And then the third thing is they make an account and they try to log back in and they forget their password. Okay. All 3 of those things are very, very easy to fix from your side. And I want to teach you guys how to do this now, because it can, if you don't know how to fix it, it's one of those things that can kind of derail the process. If you're like, oh, I don't know how to fix this, where it actually just takes 5 or 10 seconds and then you can continue with the process. So it's basically as easy as, once you've added that person, for example, they're going to come up on that list that I showed you. You're going to tap on their profile. When you tap on their profile, it's going to come up with different buttons at the bottom, okay? Because now you're actually looking at a person's profile. So if you look on the second, the second screenshot there, I've highlighted the bottom. So there's different tabs that you can go into on a client's profile. But if you click on the 4th one, that's the consultation form. And if that is blank, then you know that they haven't filled out their consultation form. If they have filled out the form, it's going to show up like this. What are their fitness goals, for example, toning and shaping? Do they exercise regularly? So things like that. So if that screen has come up, then you know that they have. And then, as I said for in the last slide, if they either didn't get the invitation email, they haven't filled out the consultation form, or they forgot their password, all you do is, once you've clicked on that client, instead of going to the 4th tab on the bottom, their dash is going to come up, which is going to be this screen where their profile picture is and everything like that. And then if you see where the arrow is on the 3rd screenshot, all you have to do is tap on that button, and it's going to bring up this menu where you can then resend them their invitation email. You can resend them like a prompt to fill out the consultation form, or if they've forgotten their password, you just click on reset password, and it will prompt them to say, okay, what's your email address, what's your new password, and then they can get back into the app. And it literally takes you 5 or 10 seconds to do that. All right, so what I want to get across to you guys is it's really good news, because what I'm going to be teaching you is kind of the one-on-one approach to online training. All right, so that means that it's going to be a premium service that you're going to be offering your clients. Okay, which means that it's a great thing, because you're going to be able to charge the most for this product. The reason why you do charge most for this product is because if you're giving someone a one-on-one service, you're giving them custom work, which means it takes your time. So it's very counterintuitive to say, I'm going to give you my premium service, I'm going to give you my one-on-one attention, and I'm going to hardly charge you anything. We don't want to do that. Our time is very important. And if you're giving someone custom work, they need to understand that that's individualized, so that they need to pay for that service. But the great part about it is, what I'm going to be able to teach you is also the easiest to learn in terms of online training. So you're going to be able to charge the most for it, and it's the easiest of the ways of online training to learn. So that's the great news. Which means, so like I've said, more time, the higher the price. You're an expert, and don't undervalue yourself when it comes to when we go over pricing and choosing how much you're going to be charging for your services. Right. So in the online training world, there are ways of doing things that are more automated. It does become a lot more complicated, but basically in the realm of personal training or online personal training, the more that something is automated, the less you actually charge for it, because it's something that you can sell to a lot more people. But we're not going to get into that and complicate you and have to learn like in-depth knowledge about different systems and automation and automatic emails and messages and all of that stuff. Okay, so remember, what I'm teaching you, you're going to be charging the most for, but it's also the easiest to learn, which is great. So the consultation, again, is one of the most important things that you need to actually know about your client. That part that Quentin was going through as part of his training, you need to understand that person's internal, what they actually want out of the process. And the only way that you can find that out is by asking them. So asking for feedback and then using that information in an intelligent way is very crucial to your business. Okay, so, but especially when you start to create that person's exercise plan. All right, which is what I'm going to touch on today. By no means am I expecting you to be able to have mastered this process by week 1, because we are right in the beginning, but I'm going to teach you how to get there. And then again, because this is not the main focus of the course right now, because we're going through Quentin stuff, I'm going to allow you to play around with it and try to build something as if you were going to do it yourself. That is the best advice that I can give you. All right, so I'm going to teach you how to create a training program. When you do create this training program, it has to have a name. Generally, when you create an exercise plan name, if you go with a generic name, people don't feel like it's very individualized, and it's not reinforcing that you're going to help that person with their goal. So, for example, if in their consultation form, they've highlighted the fact that they're looking to do toning and shaping, it's a fantastic idea to include the name of what they're looking, or include the name of the training plan with what they're looking for. So you can say a toning and training blaster program, for example, if you want to make like a fluffy, fun name about it. But it's important. I found it's very important to name that workout that reinforces what they've already told you what they want. Okay. You can go into further detail by adding a description about the workout. So I've named my workout. It's got to do with toning and shaping. And now I'm going to give a short description as to why this workout is going to help them achieve their goal. So that you can almost just write like a little blurb, which is something that I highly recommend that you do. When they've told you what their goal is in the consultation, this is another point that you need to focus on when you're naming the workout or when you're given a description. So you're always referring back to the feedback that they've given you, because what a lot of people do is they get this information from a client, they do the hard work, and then they don't use the information that person's given them in order to help motivate and keep the process going. Okay, so once you've collected all this information, then you're going to build what we call on the app a standard workout. There's 3 different kinds of workouts that you can make on the app. One is a standard or a regular workout. The other is a circuit kind of workout. And the other one is an interval training style workout. You don't need to worry about circuit or interval in the beginning. The most important one for you guys to focus on now is a regular workout. And it's also the one that I find is generally the one that I use. Okay, the circuit and the interval training is more for like a niche where you won't be using it as much. So focus just on when we get to that screen, I'll show you now, you're just going to click regular workout. So how do we get there? Once we've clicked on the person's profile, like I showed you in the previous slides, and you're going to open that person's profile now, okay? The bottom tabs are going to be, now you've opened that person's particular profile. So the bottom tabs is again where you're going to navigate through different screens. It's automatically going to get you to the dashboard of that client. The dashboard is going to give you an overview of many, many different things. I'm specifically showing you for the access or for the training plan. All right. It's the third little thing at the bottom. So in that screenshot, if you look at the arrow at the bottom, it's like pointing at a kettlebell. That little kettlebell thing is what you tap on, and then you're going to find this screen. Okay, this screen is going to be blank. This is an example of what happens when you've actually built one. But what you're going to start off is at the top of the plan, you're going to build a program or a phase. Okay, a phase is normally something that is maybe it's normally 4 weeks. Traditionally, you do a phase of 4 weeks, which includes multiple exercise plans for a set amount of time. Okay, so for example, this one, if you can see just below that arrow at the top, it says this workout training phase is 4 weeks long. It starts on the 22nd of June and it finishes on the 19th of July. All right, so in order to build a program, you need to tell you need to set how long that program goes on for. So you click on phase. On the phase, then you're going to be able to name what that thing is going to be called. So this is a good time to take into consideration where the person is in their journey. If they are starting out, then you can name this, for example, toning and shaping for beginners. Okay, so then they're going to immediately see this is something that they're not going to be intimidated by, because they can see, okay, it's for beginners. I've just been starting out. And they're much more likely to be comfortable to go and do your training phase. Okay, so you select what the training phase's name is, and then again you select how long it's going to go on for. So for in this example, again, this one was 4 weeks. So I've named it more comfortable with weight training, because this specific client told me in the consultation form that they are looking to become more comfortable with resistance or with weights. So I've named the training phase more comfortable with weight training. Okay, you see how you reinforce that. So once you click on the phase, then you set the parameters just like I've explained. When they want to start, so let's say they've told you that their starting date is on a Tuesday or a Monday, the 20th of June in this example. It can be whatever the client tells you. You set the training phase to start at that time. You select how long it's going to go on for, and then you will hit the top right button at the top there saying add. Okay. Once you have a training phase, you can go forward, Clint Curtin. Once you've done that, now you can start to create individual workouts for however long you want that phase to be. Okay. If it's a beginner, it might be longer, but generally phases are 4 weeks. Okay. Now you can start.
Neil, can I just stop you for the previous screen? When you say it's a phase for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or 3 weeks, is it the same exact workout for that phase, or it's for every week it's a different workout?
No, so a phase contains different workouts. So in one phase, you can have 10 different workouts that can go on different days, or you can have 2 or 3. It depends on you. It normally depends on how many times per week that person is going to be doing your program. So the phase is the amount of time that you want them to be doing certain movements. So say, for example, you've got a new client and they want to learn yoga. They don't know yoga at all. Your first phase is going to be workouts, like yoga workouts, that do very easy movements. Okay, so there's going to be no advanced movements in any of those workouts. But then what it allows you to do is build a second phase, an intermediate phase, where each individual workout, maybe there's 4 different workouts that you build there with more advanced movements. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. So once you've created that phase, so again, this one's called more comfortable with weight training. The screen is there's not going to be workouts there. These are ones that I've already built, for example, and this is the ones I've named for them. You just have to click again on the little plus button, just like the plus button when you added a client. You click on a plus button, then remember there's going to be those 3 different kinds of workouts you can choose from: regular, circuit, or interval. I'm going to suggest in the beginning, you just use regular, you hit regular, and then you're going to name your workout. So for example, this client told me that she wants to work out at home 3 times a week, and she has access to equipment. And the other 2 days a week, she actually wants to work out in the Greenpoint gym, which is an outdoor park gym. So you can see as an example of a name of a workout, the ones that are at her house are called glutes, back, and using dumbbells. And then she's got 2 of those workouts that are going to be happening at the park. I've named those workouts Greenpoint 1 and Greenpoint 2 because she wants to work out at the Greenpoint Park. So I've made it specifically for that thing. So when you name your workout, it needs to describe something about what it's actually going to be building so that they know what's coming, and also you know what you're building for them. So you don't mix and match too many things together. Okay, so name your workout. Once you do that, then it's going to give you the screen where you can start actually putting the movements together. All right, so there's just going to be a blank screen there. So I've given an example of a blank workout. It says no exercises are added yet. If you click on the bottom right, it says exercises with a little video button. All right, so where that arrow is on the first screenshot, bottom right, you click on that, and then that's going to give you access to a library of different videos. And each of those, traditionally, if the way that you want to use the app is each video is a specific movement, so that when you're actually delivering the workout, it's even if you are using other people's videos, which is what I recommend in the beginning, the sequence in which you've put them together and how many they're going to do and how long they're going to do it for is all your work. So it's a way of using other people's videos where you're actually the one that is the creator of how they all fit together for the sequence, for example. So the app has pre-loaded videos of many movements with many different kinds of equipment. But the great thing about this is if they don't have the movement that you're looking for, you can always pull videos off of a link that you give them, or you can search the entire of YouTube and actually add that video into these lists of things that you're going to be choosing. So for example, I've just taken 3 random movements just to show you how you add them. When you find the movement that you want, so whether it's 3D lunge or ab crunch or air squat or any of those, you just have to click the little plus button, and you can do one at a time, or you can click the plus button on multiple ones, and then you click done on the top right. Then it's going to show up on, so in the first screen it says no exercises yet. That's going to be now replaced by, I clicked on dumbbell glute bridge floor, then floor glute kickback, and then they're going to have a 90-second rest, and then they're going to do glute bridge, for example. Okay, so this is where you start to put movements in different sequences, and it's obviously you should build this as if you were building an exercise plan for someone from scratch. And just like what you do in person, you want to give that person some movements to do as a warm-up. Then you want to take them into the main set of the workout, and then you want to take them through a cool down and a stretching phase, okay? And I will show you examples of that as we get a little bit further down the line. I don't want to overwhelm you with it, but all I want you to do is visualize when you are creating these workouts, think about how you would do it in person if you were going to be training that person, or if you haven't got any clients yet and you don't have any of the PT experience, how would you train yourself? To warm up, you might go for a short jog. Then you might do some dynamic stretches. Then you want to start off with doing the actual parts of the exercise. So I'm going to do jump squats. How many jump squats am I going to do? How many sets, how many reps, and how long I want to rest? And then you just put that into the app. So for example, the first one is dumbbell glute floor bridge. So that's an exercise that you either do repetitions for, like moving your hips up and down, or you can hold it in one static spot and get it. You can hold it for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, for example. So there you can set 3 sets, and then what is your target? 3 sets of 10 reps, and then how much does the dumbbell weigh? 10 kilograms. And then the little 30 seconds on the right next to set target on the far right is how much rest time that person is going to take after they've done one set of that movement. So if they're doing 3 sets, after the first set, they do it for 10 repetitions of 10 kilogram weight in my example. After they finish that, they're going to take a 30-second break. Okay. If it's something that's not very challenging or that you want to do supersetting in different sequences, you can set the rest period to 0. But obviously, if it's for a beginner, they're probably going to do one exercise, then they're going to take a break, and then you just click on the side there where it says 30 seconds right now, and you can choose their break from 5 seconds to 5 minutes. You set how long you want them to rest for example. So once you have all the movements that you would like to do in that specific workout, then you hit the top right button, save. And then it's going to put that workout.
Sorry, Neil, I think Ryan said Ryan, do you still have a question?
Yeah, I actually do. So Neil, you mentioned that there's videos obviously in the app. So
sorry?
You mentioned that in the app there's already videos that you can just search through the library. Let's say, for instance, I've got a movement that I'd like to combine, which is going to be compound. Like, for instance, maybe two pulsing squats, 2 jumping lunges, and I don't find that type of video, and it's not on YouTube. In that case, what would be the way forward? Like, can you go into Instagram to like grab it if you have it, or?
You can, but you also shouldn't. As you work with the app more, you'll start to see what's possible and what's not possible. So what is your example? 2 pulse squats and then what?
And 2 jump lunges.
And then 2 jump lunges. So what you can do is individually search for pulse squats. You can add that in as the first movement. Then you can add in jump lunges. And then you can set the app to say superset. So I mean, do one movement and then straight into the other movement. So then you set pulse squats to 2, jump lunges to 2. And then after pulse squats, you just don't put a rest. So the first thing you'll put pulse squats, and then you'll set 2 of those, and then you'll say 0 rest, and then you'll say jump lunges straight afterwards, and then how many reps that you want. And then the client knows it's that movement, then that movement, then no break, then that movement, and then they only can take a rest. Does that make sense? Okay,
cool. Yeah, it makes sense.
There are ways to combine it. It doesn't have to specifically be, you can, if there's 2 movements that you want to put together, like your example, like compound together, there are ways that you can just take the individual movement and then just put them right after each other, and then show the client by saying no rest that you want them to do it subsequently.
Neil, if you got your own YouTube channel, can you record a little video and use that video then in this place?
That's the easiest way to do it. If there's like a specific complex of movements that you want to do and you don't want it to be too choppy changey. But again, it's not a prerequisite, because with this course, we want to teach you how to do things without needing video production. But again, if you want something very niche in your training, it's quite an easy thing to record yourself with your phone, even of you doing the exercises, and then you can actually, without even having a YouTube channel, you can upload it onto the app. And every time you want a client to do that, you can search for that video, and then you can input it without having any tech knowledge or without having a YouTube channel or any of that kind of thing.
But I think it's very cool because you can start immediately with all these videos at your disposal. But over time, you can just kind of swap these out with your own videos. And in 2 years' time, you might have all of your own videos in here if you're that way inclined, if you like to do that.
You can, or if you've just found a great library of movements that you use of other people's really, really nice videos, whatever video you add from YouTube then stays in like your favorites library. So you won't have to search through YouTube again. And the great thing about it as well is whatever video you find and you like, you can change the name of it, and whatever name makes sense in your head, like they might have named it for YouTube. You can name it whatever you want to. And then when you search for it the next time, it'll come up as that. And then when the client sees it, it will be the name that you've given it, not the generic name on YouTube.
Very cool.
Cool.
Neil, I do have a niche question, okay?
Yep.
With regard to what you're saying, YouTube or recording myself, which I actually do that. I you see, I'm trying to back up my information so I won't lose that. And this is a bit of a problem because there is so much that you can store in your cell phone in terms of keeping the information. What does it mean? For example, if I do have 10 or 12 videos on top of the video that currently I have in my cell phone with 15 minutes or 20 minutes yoga practice, I'm not so sure how it will stay on my cell phone. Do you understand? In terms of
Yeah.
keeping that information. So this is technology kind of question first, maybe for Quinton. Secondly, if I want to take a nice video of someone else that's doing yoga, because somehow in yoga they offer so much for free, then I am concerned a bit eventually why the person won't go and click into video morning energy or vinyasana flow with this and this instead of booking with me the program online. So I'm not so sure in your app you're providing, for example, 3 minutes of sun salutation or warm up or everything of that I need to record, okay? And it's not very easy for me to record. It's much more easy for me if I have someone that I point to and they're doing that than me speaking, explaining, and doing. That also I practice that one. So what is your maybe insight or solution with regards to my niche of practice? Because with breathwork, it's a little bit more simpler. It's very much individual, although you can give homework with the app.
Okay, so to answer your first question, you're not going to have to be storing these videos on your phone storage, which is great. You can take the video, upload it onto the app or a YouTube channel, whichever one of you're choosing, and then it actually it's in the internet storage. So you won't actually have to keep that on your phone storage anymore. You can, once you've uploaded it either to the app or to YouTube, you can delete it off your phone, and it's not going to take up space anymore, and it will exist in the internet storage, for example. To answer your second question, however Lit teaches yoga, there's obviously certain ways that you do things. The way that you do your warm-up, how many repetitions of a sequence that you do, or how long, if you get them to rest in between, or if you don't get them to rest. So you could find, like you said, a 3-minute part. That would be a very long, obviously, sequence. But if, say, you use that 3-minute sequence as part of your workout, or as part of your individual session, that person is getting your take on when that should be incorporated. And it's not just like a general, like, go watch this YouTube video and it's going to solve your problems, because a Lit tells you this is how you should do your warm-up. You should do the sequence in this specific part of the greater scheme of the session, but you are actually the one that is creating the flow and the order of the exercises, which is where everyone's individual knowledge and flow and ideologies come from. So I would say, because you're not just uploading like an hour video and saying, there, just watch that. In that case, then that person would go, oh, why don't I just go for YouTube for free? But using maybe a segment, that's maybe a complex of movements, but that segment fits into your flow and your sequence. And that's how everyone has their kind of own individual way of training clients and their own ideologies. And that's why people will pay for Lit or pay for Neil or pay for Ryan, because he does 2 pole squats and then 2 jump lunges in his part of his training, because it helps with boxing for some reason, for example.
I don't know, I see that simple for the personal trainer guys, not for much for me, but what came up to me as he spoke to me is that if I would choose 4 or 5 videos of different kind of yoga instruction that giving, online, I will take segment 2 minutes and I will combine it to a specific kind of a name, as you say, title the name, then it's a little bit more difficult for them to go and follow and look for the free of charge the rest of the video. Those that not keen to pay, and they have the time, on their hand to do that, will do that. But this is not what I'm looking for. But
Exactly.
those that, actually believing in what I'm providing, although they're seeing other instructor, online, and they can provide, they will say, I don't have the time to go and by myself to align those sequences. I will pay for Elite to align for me what is right for me and my aim and my goal to come. So this is what came up for me. I would be very grateful, because I'm lousy. I know what I'm good at and what I'm not with research. If you and Quinton will come with a minute of segment of yoga, whether it's a warm up, whether it's a morning flow, whether whatever it is, I know then how to combine, or maybe I can add myself a short video of myself, and then I can combine the sequence for the future client. That will be very helpful for me, okay, because I can sit hours on the internet, search and look, and then I'm just biting my nails off, okay, as I'm feeling like, whew, what I'm going to choose from this kind of nice a box of treats, okay? But if you will guide me more, look at it, look on these 10 videos, they are only 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. I don't have a problem with that. Then see what is relevant for you and see what sequence you can build. I'm coming with sequence, I'm telling you now, with a name as well, of course.
Okay,
What
we can definitely do that.
Okay, thank you.
Just another question, Neil.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like trainerize, does it have a limit on like how long you can make your video be? Like for instance, like for myself and Shepard doing the boxing niche, let's say I want to just upload a video of just one round, which is boxing, which is 3 minutes, and then obviously I put some rest in that. Would I be able to do that instead,
Yeah.
or does it have a certain limit of, okay, you can upload the video this long?
No, there are functions where you can well, let's say let me give you an example from my own experience. I had a client that wanted to do a Pilates class during their phase of training. So I wasn't going to go and make a whole Pilates class where my sale to them, or my niche, was functional training, but they wanted this as part of something they could do at home. So I went and found a 60-minute class that I would recommend that they do, and added that whole 60-minute video. So when they open the app and they say, cool, Pilates on that day, they literally could watch an hour video of this other person actually just taking them through for that one specific day, because that person's main goal was to do my kind of training that I provide. And then they had one Pilates class that I just found good information for them. And then they watched it through the app. They could have watched it through YouTube, but obviously on the app, the nice thing of having everything all together is you can see a bigger picture of how much that person is training, and if they've been sticking to their training or not, because whatever session that they log, you'll be able to see how many sessions they've done, when they've got personal best, etc., etc. So you want them to keep all of their activities in one spot. So at a glance, you can tell, okay, this person actually isn't sticking to the program, and they're not so committed, because you can look back to they didn't train for 2 weeks, or you can see, okay, this person is committed and they are doing their workouts. Now we can go to the next step of the program, of the phase. Does that make sense, right?
Yeah, it does. It does make sense. Thanks.
Sorry, Neil, with regard to Ryan's question, it came up to me. What kind of workout in terms of time-wise would you recommend a client, even though they're telling you I have twice a week or 3 times a week, 20 minutes for workout? What would you go, if they don't tell you that they have only 15 minutes for 3 times a week, and they want you to do that to consistent, what kind in our busy time life would you recommend as a workout? Because I do struggle with that, okay? Because yoga, for me, I teach in 1.5 hours. Not everyone can give 1.5 hours 3 times a week. So what would you recommend if people won't tell you to encourage them and to develop the fitness in my kind of field?
Not just, I wouldn't give it for just your kind of field. When people either are very strapped for time, they're a high like they work a lot, or they're a complete beginner, I give them 3 workouts that are 30 minutes long. And by 30 minutes long, I mean that includes warm up and cool down. So whether it's a 10-minute warm up and a 5-minute cool down, then they've got 20 minutes of actual workout time. So I say, let's do 3 times a week, 30-minute sessions. And also when they track the workout, or when they finish the workout, it tells you when they started and when they finished it. So you can also see, you can say, oh, sorry, this workout was a little bit long, I'll shorten it a little bit for you because maybe you overshot the mark. But my recommendation is if it's a beginner or someone that doesn't have lots of time or they haven't got it kind of into their part of their routine, I would do 3 sessions of 30 minutes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's everything from my side.
Good. All right. Well, yeah, we went a bit over time, but I think there was those were all very necessary things, and I think that was fantastic. Neil taking us through the whole thing, because this lays the foundation and all the functionality that the app has, and it certainly looks very, very cool, the app, and looks like fun to play with as well, to get it all set up. So what in terms of homework for Friday, obviously, is doing all of this stuff. Neil, is there sort of a couple of points that people can do in getting ready for Friday?
Yeah, so I think the main focus is going to be designing our business. But from my side, add yourself, add a workout. So you're going to have a demo client in your app already. You can go through the demo workouts, and then from there, I want you to add an actual workout, create a phase, and create a workout that either you would give to a client or you would do for yourself, and then see if you can actually do that workout so that you can get a feel for what the client is actually going to be seeing from their side. So the video, how many times they mean you do it, for how long, and how much they're going to rest, and then almost like build up an exercise plan that you would do for yourself, and then that starts to give you an idea about the programming and how it actually works, how app-based training actually works.
Okay, cool. And then
So just one workout.
Sorry, Neil, would you tell us to do a workout for the whole 30 minutes, or perhaps you will put it 5 or 10 minutes as a workout as a start with?
No, you can start off with something short if you want, but it's nice to get a feel for how to do things from start to finish, with a warm up, with a workout. Even if it's a workout that you've done with yourself that you haven't put into the app, so do a workout yourself, and then whatever movements that you've done in that session, build that workout after the fact. So instead of building it on the app and then doing it, do the workout and see how long it takes you, and write down the specifics of it, and then try build that workout that you've done for yourself into the app, and then you know how long it's going to take, and then it will give you a real idea of how to put this thing together, so that when a client takes it for the first time and they don't obviously know what you know, that if they followed that video sequence that you've given them, that they could get the same result that you've got.
Awesome. Okay, and then that I'll also put that avatar template on the Facebook group, so you guys can just get downloaded in PDF and maybe start filling in some information about your avatar and your ideal client. And then also, if you can, on a laptop, go and get keywords everywhere, and just install it as a Chrome browser. An alternative, I was just thinking for the guys on the phone, it's not an app or it's not an extension, but maybe go to a site called Uber Suggest, and you can actually do it in the browser. Some of this searching with a keyword. I didn't do a demo on that one today, but I'll put the link in the what's the name, in the Facebook group. And actually what I could do is I could shoot a little video just to show you how to use Uber Suggest's website. It's quite a cool tool as well. And that's it. Yeah. So decide, write out your avatar, write down the niche that you're going to be servicing, and the type of exercises. So, get a real good clarity and in writing what it is that you're going to be providing for people.
But you're going to give us a step-by-step on which one to go first, and so that we can be careful Friday, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Thank you, Quentin.
All right.
And Clinton, also perhaps in the WhatsApp, if you can send links, that would be helpful. I still don't find my feet around the Facebook for some reason. I don't know why. So if you can put a link
Okay.
for Chrome, if you can put a link in the for the keyword Chrome. So I want to wonder because there are a few options. I just Google as we talk for that, and also the specifically what is the homework with the
Yeah.
template. That will be great. So for me, through the emails, that is a great way. Okay, because it's more organized. I don't know
Yeah.
how it's for the others. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
Actually, Quentin, is it a possibility? I don't know if it's okay, but like if you can like send us like maybe some of the slides because I actually found the info quite useful.
Okay.
And like I'd like to go through it on my own as well during the week.
Yeah, absolutely. We could do that. Obviously, with the video, this is being recorded. So this video will be in the Facebook group as well. So then you'll see the slides and things like that. But I'm happy to share the actual PowerPoint slides as well.
Thank you, Quentin.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, guys. I thought it was a bit of a longer session, but yeah, we're getting things set up so that we can, once we start lining it up, we can just start knocking them the things down, and we can start quick results.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good week. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.